I just got my hands on a piece of Mexican racing history. Wanna see?
Of course! I'm on my way.
In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right. Turn left. Turn left. Arrived at your destination.
Nice! Working through those speed zones, yeah? Give me a minute to reach Festival Ops next time. I want to watch.
In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right.
Let me guess. Today's episode of Mexican Automotive History with Ramiro is about the Baja 1000.
You are very perceptive, my friend. This dune buggy was the first car to race here. Let's take it for a spin. The Baja 1000 is probably the most prestigious race held in Mexico. Do you know how it all started?
I assume the Myers Manx has something to do with it.
Correct again. The Baja 1000 started as a very elaborate marketing campaign for the car you're driving. But let me start from the beginning. On the 22nd of March, 1962, Dave Eakins and Billy Robertson did the first real Baja run. They went from Tijuana to La Paz in 39 hours, 56 minutes on new Honda CL72 Scrambler motorcycles. So they probably were a bit sore afterwards. They got a lot of media coverage though. A year later, Myers started to work on a prototype buggy he called Old Red in his garage in Newport Beach. It was based on the VW Beetle, and it paved the way for what we know as buggies. Cars that are built for off-roading using the Beetle as a donor chassis. But I guess they wanted even more publicity because in April 1967, Myers decided to make an attempt at breaking Eakins' record. And it worked! Myers did it in 34 hours and 45 minutes, beating Eakins for more than 5 hours. The rivalry was known as Bug Eats Bike in Baja. Sounds like something you did back in the UK, doesn't it? Myers Manx became an overnight sensation as a result, and suddenly they were friendly races all across the Baja. It wasn't long before they realized they needed something more organized. And that was Mexican 1000. Guess who won the inaugural event?
Myers Manx?
You're on fire today! Yes, in 27 hours and 38 minutes. The official race was 100 miles shorter than the original route, but it's still impressive. The Mexican 1000 was later renamed the Baja 1000, and is run to this day.
In 400 meters, turn right. 200 meters, turn left.
I love that story. My abuela used to tell it to me at least once a year. Hey, come quick! Papa Fernando needs your help!
Okay. I'll be right there.
In 100 meters, turn left. In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right. In 400 meters, turn sharp left. Turn sharp left. In 200 meters, turn left. Turn left. In 100 meters, turn left. You have arrived at your destination.
Oh, right. I get it now.
To be honest, though, it was me who needed your help, not Papa Fernando.
I can't fault that logic. Who are the other racers?
It's this new street racing crew that's been hanging around. I think they're here to see what you can do. Let's show them. Toy, he's eager. But this isn't really a street race. There's no checkpoints, just the finish line. So keep to the route and get there first. It's hard to overstate the effect that the Beetle had when it arrived in Mexico in 1954. Before that, all we had were these huge American cars. So this new European stuff car with its shape and light chassis and those adorable headlights and an engine that anyone with a tractor could fix was, well, a complete game changer. They were so exciting that they were displayed at the Ciudad Universitaria in Mexico City. and there were lines to come and see this new car. Nice overtake! Production of the Beetle started in Mexico soon after 7 of them finished the Carrera Panamericana. Before that, people were a bit worried about reliability, you see. We Mexicans love a good-looking car, but a car that can do work is better. The Panamericana convinced us, and in '61, Automex had assembled 250 of them. By '62, the first plant had opened in Jalostoc, making 10 of them a day. We love that car. So another plant opened in Puebla in 1967. And in '71, El Bocho became the official taxi of Mexico City, which is why you see so many of them today. It's funny. The first Bochos were imports, or CKDs. But in 1971, we were exporting them to Costa Rica, and back to West Germany, Austria, Belgium, everywhere in Europe. It was a sad day in 2003 when the last Volkswagen sedan Última Edición rolled off the production line and went home to the Volkswagen Museum in Wolfsburg. Now that's more like it! Eso, Bochito, eso! So loved was the Bocho that it eventually outsold the Ford Model T to become the world's best-selling car. And was the first to reach 20 million sales. Sure, other cars have staked their claim on that title in recent years, but none are so timeless and unchanged as the Bocho. That is a great car. Probably the most iconic car in all of Mexico. Ay, es increíble que un auto tan pequeño deje un vacío tan grande. Adiós, sedan. Thanks. I'll call you when I've got that next one ready.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
I have a brilliant idea.
Another one. What happened to the previous idea?
This one is better. Meet me in town.
Meters. Turn left. Calculating route. In 200 meters, turn right. In 100 meters, turn left. In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right. In 400 meters, turn right. arrive at your destination. Turn left. In 100 meters, you will arrive at your destination. You have arrived at your destination.
I have two cars here. A first-generation Volkswagen and a seventh-generation Volkswagen Golf. Made in Mexico for almost half a century. Sadly, they stopped building them in 2021. But we can still race them. What do you say? To make it fair, I will give you a chance to make an informed choice. Let's go for a test drive. And I've got lots to tell you about Volkswagen Mexico. Volkswagen Mexico headquarters are in Puebla City. It started production in 1967 with the famous Beetle. As we call it, the Bocho. VW made multiple attempts at replacing the famous Beetle with newer models, but all of them failed way short of achieving the production figures until the Volkswagen Golf came into play. First generation was released in Mexico as the Volkswagen Caribe and had quite a few variations, including the Golf GTI you're driving right now. VW engineers, inspired by the Beetle GSR, designed and prototyped the Golf in secret as a Skunk Works project. Little did they know that the Golf GTI would become the hot hatch. Shall we jump 40 years in the future and try the seventh generation? Seventh generation of the Golf first appeared in 2012. This version is the Volkswagen Golf R, R meaning race. This was the fastest Golf in the range, with a 0 to 60 time of 5.1 seconds. Volkswagen Mexico produced all 7 generations of the Golf, totaling more than 2 million units over 44 years. In fact, a lot of Golfs you find in the US were built here. all right. Enough driving around. Let's go head to head, after you've had a chance to rest. I'm a fair man. I'll let you choose. Which Golf do you want to drive for our little race?
I'll take the Golf R.
You have just unlocked a temporary perk. These offer a limited number of uses to this car. In 400 meters, turn left. Turn left. You have arrived at your destination.
I hope you know some shortcuts. See you at the finish line. Don't make me wait for too long. I see what you're doing, but you still can't win. What a race! The difference 40 years makes! have a story to tell you, my friend. About the old wolf in the swamp.
Are we going to a zoo?
A swamp? I'll pick you up.
It's time to expand. What are we doing next?
In 400 meters, turn left. Turn left. Turn around when it is safe to do so. Calculating route. In 400 meters, turn left. Turn around when it is safe to do so. In 100 meters, turn right. meters. Turn left. Turn left. In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right. You have arrived at your destination.
That's the old wolf.
No, no, that's an old truck. The wolf is waiting for us at the swamp. Haley asked us to clear some debris, and I've got just the car. But we need to get there first.
Of course! Who do you think I am?
The driver who destroyed a record-breaking amount of fences.
That's fair.
In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right. In 200 meters, turn right. Turn right.
See? Got it here in one piece.
And gave me a few heart attacks. Careful there! And now, let me introduce you to the Ford Lobo. This car is more your style.
Now that's a hecking good wolf.
We call it Lobo here. Marketing in this country is outstanding. Let's get to work. See all that Russian stuff? Clear it out. What? No! It's not just an excuse to throw the Lobo around. It is just an excuse to throw the Lobo around. In the 90s, Ford decided that they needed to rebrand the F-150 for the Mexican market. And the name Lobo just has a real ring to it. They started using the badge in 1997, and the rest is history. The Ford Lobo quickly became one of the most popular vehicles in the country. Lobo is still used for the modern Rangers like the one based on the F-150 Raptor you're driving. But we don't just call it Lobo. No, no. We call it Lobo Raptor.
So it's the same car?
Now, there are loads of differences, like a dog and a wolf. The Lobo only comes in XLT and with higher trim levels. The base version is still sold in Mexico as the F-150, but the Lobo is the elite F-150. Job's done. And the scratches will buff right out. Thanks for the help. Now I just need to get my abuelo's old F100 back to the garage. I've got 1,400 horses and I need you to help with them.
I think... I know what this is. I'll be right over.
In 400 meters, turn right. Turn right. In 400 meters, you will arrive at your destination. You have arrived at your destination.
Hey there! So, look at this. 1,400 horses of electric Ford Mustang. Get in! Let's take this down to the beach. Stick it in AWD if you like. There's some nice curves up ahead. This is 2021's EV of the year. And it was up against things like the Taycan and the e-tron and the Recharge. It set 3 Guinness World Records, and it's inspired by the beautiful original Mach 1. And I'm telling you all of this because the Mach E was built right here in Mexico at Cuautitlán Assembly. Whoa! How do you make it go around corners like that? I'm really asking. Hey, I have to keep this back. Be careful with it. Calm down. I know you like to go fast. I had a big breakfast. Cuautitlán Assembly has been building cars since the 60s. And more than 2.2 million cars later, we're sitting in an actual space machine made here in Mexico. Quite a journey from Cougars and Thunderbirds and F-150s to this. This isn't just a prototype. Cuautitlán Assembly does a range of options for the Mach E. A 68 kilowatt-hour standard and an 88 kilowatt-hour extended range version. It will give you over 300 miles of range on a single charge. The Performance GT version is the really wild one. 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. This one is quite a bit faster. Honestly, when I first tried it, I had to go and sit in a quiet room for a bit. And I've flown airplanes in a storm. Hey! This isn't your Mac E. Be careful with it. I have to give it back. It's wild tech. You can switch from all-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive at the touch of a button. And when you get into tuning, you can basically tweak every one of the 7 engines individually. You can make 1,400 horsepower and a ton of downforce at 160 miles per hour thanks to the aero tube.
So what you're saying is, not bad for something that weighs more than that F-150 of yours.
Yes. And there we go. Sunrise over the sea. Beautiful. But we're not done. There's one more thing to look at. I'll let you know as soon as I have, found it.